Hello, dear friends, how are you? One thing which almost everybody knows that one thing is that our bodily health is very important and very important indeed. All the successes will be dumped and ditched if at all we are not bodily healthy person. One thing which we need to understand now, it is that our mental health is not any way lesser important than our body health, or maybe it is even more important for the reason that our bodily health too is a lot dependent upon our mental health. Like everything else like everything else our bodily health is also very much dependent upon our mental health. So, if at all we want to live a healthy life, if at all we want to be happy in the life, we want to achieve some sort of success. So, for all that reason, it is extremely important that we are mentally healthy person. Rather, if I say that it must be taken as the number one priority, there is nothing wrong in believing and in acting accordingly upon this thing, that our mental health is of prime importance and it is not any way lesser important than our bodily health. So, for that all reason and purpose, we have made it a topic of our discussion today, that how can we become a mentally healthy person and how can we lead a happy life. Because being a mentally healthy person and leading a healthy life, these are interdependent and these are not different from each other at all, and these cannot be separated from each other at all. Anybody and everybody who is a mentally healthy person will be automatically leading a happy life, and those people who are leading an unhappy life, they are not mentally healthy person at all. So let's begin our topic today, and let's begin from the mental health. As for the mental health is concerned, there are certain things which are of very basic importance. Rather, I am going to present here the five things which will be called the pillars of mental health, which are the very basics of the mental health, and each five of these things are extremely important for each and every individual who want to become a healthy, mentally healthy person and who want to lead a mentally healthy life. So let's begin with the number one. It is about the self care. Self care. What is the self care? It is like sleeping, having a 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep every night. 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night, and preferably sleeping and awakening at the same time. Mean there should be a time to sleep and there should be a time to awaken as well. So that is the number one thing once we are talking about the mental health. Because our sleep is dependent a lot upon, because our mental health is dependent a lot upon our sleeping. So the second thing that comes in the bracket of the self care, it is the healthy eating. Healthy eating. Do not eat the unhealthy food. Do not eat the processed food. Do not eat the junk food or the fast food. Rather, prefer the vegetables, the fruits, and the whole grain, and of course the protein. So that is the healthy eating. The sleeping 7 to 8 hours per night, healthy eating, and then it is the exercise, the physical exercise, which is also compulsory. So the three of these things combined are called the self care. So the number one thing out of the five pillars of the mental health, that is the self care. Now the second thing, it is the mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? It is practicing meditation, practicing deep breathing, and practicing the yoga as well. Mindfulness. There are three basic mindfulness practices. Number one, it is the meditation. We should meditate from 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, another 10 to 15 minutes in the evening, and that is an ideal. And deep breathing, of course. even if it is for 5 to 7 minutes. Then it is the yoga is also important. I think all this activity in the 24 hours, we should be sparing at least 1 hour for all the three things combined, which come in the bracket of the mindfulness. Now the third pillar of the mental health, that is connecting with the others. The third pillar of the mental health is connecting with others. How can we connect with other people? It is nurturing relationships with the family and with the friend. Nurturing of the relationships with the family and with the friend. So that is called connecting with others in a positive manner. The fourth pillar of the mental health, that is seeking help. Seeking help. Consult a mental health practitioner when needed. Consult a mental health practitioner when needed. Do not hesitate to do that, and do not feel ashamed at all. It is not a matter of stigma at all. Mental health is like the physical health. If we don't hesitate to consult a doctor, physical doctor, so why to hesitate to consult a mental health practitioner? So it is also like we are seen hiring the services of a hairdresser, services of a tailor, or any other technician. So the doctor, I think that is very important. The mental health practitioner, it is even more important. Now, the fifth and the last item, as for the mental health is concerned, that is also the pillar of the mental health, and it is called challenging negative thoughts. Challenging of the negative thoughts. How can I? How can you challenge the negative thoughts? It is practice. It is practicing positive self-talk. Practicing positive self-talk and reframing the negative thoughts. As for the self-talk, positive self-talk is concerned, all of us are seen talking. We are always talking to ourselves, and all the talks combined, being put on the one side of the scale, it will be lesser as compared to the self-talk we do on with ourselves. So that is even more. So the self-talk is either toxic or healthy. It is either positive or negative. But let me tell you that negative self-talk, it is nothing less than poison at all. It is like toxifying our brain, our thoughts, and then the trickle down effect, it will make everything else sick enough. Now, these are the five pillars of the mental health. Let me repeat quickly. Number one, it is the self care, sleeping 7 to 8 hours, eating the healthy diet, and exercising on daily basis. So that is the self care. The second is the mindfulness. Practice meditation, practice deep breathing, practice yoga, and all of that combined 1 hour in the whole of the day. Now, the third is connect with others, develop the positive relationships, nurture good positive relationship with the family members and with the friends as well. So that is the third item, the third pillar out of the five as for the mental health is concerned. The fourth pillar of the mental health, that is the seeking of help. Consult a mental health professional every time you need it. And the fifth and the last is challenging negative self-talk. Practice positive self-talk and reframing the negative self-talk. So, after talking about the mental health, we are going to talk about the happiness. How can I or you lead a happy life? There are the five pillars of a happy life. So, the first one is gratitude. The first pillar of the happy life is gratitude, and it is reflecting on the things you are thankful for each day, every positive thing, every everything which we are benefiting from, everything which is a blessing, no matter how small it is, should not be ignored at all, should not be taken for granted at all. Rather, we need to be grateful. Rather, we need to develop the attitude of gratitude for all that. So, that is the number one thing, which is called the attitude of gratitude. The second is the purpose. All the activities we are pursuing must be the purposeful one, and it must not be the useless one at all. But remember that self care, that is quite positive. So it is the purpose, having the purpose, spending your time in a purposeful manner, spending the rest of the resources, financial and otherwise, must be in a purposeful manner. The third is, that is the positive relationships. and that is surrounding yourself with the sportive people. Every toxic person, we must create a lot of distance with those people who are toxic enough, and we should try to get closer to those people who are positive enough and who are, sportive people. And it is the third is positive relationships. Surround yourself with the sportive and positive people. The fourth item on the happiness agenda, it is the self compassion. The self compassion says that every time we fail or we suffer a setback, do not make yourself a target of harsh criticism at all. Rather, try to treat yourself gently, try to treat yourself with the kindness, with the compassion, with the understanding, the way we treat our loved ones. Every time they fail or they suffer a setback, every time they are in pain, we don't try to harm them further, rather, we try to be gentle with those people. So, that is the fourth pillar of happiness. The fifth and the last pillar of the happiness is that enjoy the moment. Enjoying the moment. How can we enjoy the moment? That is focus on the present and find joy in everyday experiences, focusing on the present, not to dwell in the past at all. The past might be having plenty of the bitter experiences. Don't keep regretting about your past. Learning whatever can be learned from the past, and as we all of us have a future as well, the future, don't keep worrying about the future at all. Rather, plan it and let it go. Then focus and concentrate upon your present, and then finding joy in everyday experiences. Everyday experiences, people think that this is not an item of joy at all. So that is absolutely wrong. If this be the case, we won't be able to enjoy at all. We need to be happy while pursuing every positive and good activity. So these are the five pillars of the happy life. The first one is the gratitude. The second is the purposeful life, purposeful activities. The third is the positive relationships. The fourth is the self compassion. The fifth and the last is enjoying the moment. Moving to the next segment, there are certain daily habits which must be adopted, and these are only five in number. So, these five daily habits will contribute a lot as far our mental health is concerned, as far our happy life is concerned. The first one is the morning routine. Starting your day right. Start with a consistent morning routine. Several good items in the morning. Now the second is the physical activity, and that is engage in the regular exercise or in the physical activity, maybe some 30 to 40 minutes, 30 minutes to 1 hour every day. So the third thing on the daily habits, it is the journaling. What is the journaling? That is reflecting on your thoughts, reflecting on your feelings, reflecting on your experiences, and expressing all that in writing. So, but as for the writing is concerned, you don't need to protect it for the rest of your life. You can destroy it immediately after writing or keep it whatever you want. But writing is important. That is called journaling. Writing about your thinking, about your feelings, about your experiences. Now, the fourth daily habit, that is the digital balance, and the digital balance says that set boundaries around the screen time. Setting of the boundaries around the screen time and the technology use. Now, the fifth and the last item, as for the daily habits are concerned, it is the relaxation techniques. Relaxation techniques. What are these relaxation techniques? There are several. One is the practice relaxation techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation and visualization. The visualization says that whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to become, wherever you want to reach, that start visualizing that you have already become what you wanted to become. You have already reached where you wanted to reach. You have already achieved what you wanted to achieve, and that you are very happy. You are enjoying all that. It will keep you a lot more motivated. So that is the visualization technique. Now there is a progressive muscle relaxation technique that says that focus on one part of your body. Suppose that focus on your feet, on both feet. Tighten it, make it strict as much as you can. Then gradually start releasing it and do it for 3 times. then from the ankles to the knees, make all the muscles as tight as you possibly can. After that, hold it for 2 3 seconds, for few seconds, then start releasing it gradually. That, do it for 3 times in the same manner. Practice every part of the body, and it is called progressive muscle relaxation technique. So that is, I am that is, my dear friends and fellows, these are the five, you know, these are the five daily habits which are a lot more useful in making us a mentally healthy person, in making our life a happy one. The first one is the morning routine. The second is the physical activity. The third is the journaling. The fourth is the digital balance. The fifth and the last is the relaxation techniques. Move now. There are things to remember. Finally, there are certain things which must be remembered, and these are only five in number. First one is mental health is just as important as physical health, or even more important. That is the number one thing to remember. The second thing to remember is happiness is a journey, not a destination. That I have reached my destination, I will stay happy forever. It is a journey all the time. You have to keep doing one thing or the other for the purpose of happiness. The third thing is that is the self care is not being selfish at all. Self care is not being selfish at all. Mean sleeping 7 to 8 hours, eating the healthy diet, doing the exercise. So these are the three basics of the self care. Practicing these three basics throughout the life, it is not being selfish. And now the fourth item to remember is don't seek the perfection at all. Focus on the improvement. Try to improve. Try to make progress. Never try to be perfect at all. Now the fifth and the last item to remember is that seek help when needed. Seeking help when needed. Five items to remember. Number one, mental health is as important as physical health. Number two, happiness is a journey, not a destination. Number three, self care is not being selfish. Number four, don't try to be perfect at all. Rather, focus on improvement and progress. The fifth and the last is seek help when needed. So, all of these five items on happiness, on mental health, on daily routine, on five things to remember, it will make our life, definitely we will be a happy one, and we will become a mentally healthy person. That is in itself a great achievement. So thank you very much for today. Allah Hafiz.